All right, today we're going to create a MailChimp email, and we're going to start by looking at our opt-in source. So let's go to my website here. My primary opt-in source is here on the right, in the right-hand column. I make a pitch, hey, stay in the know, get my best essays, other occasional news, ideas, and projects in once weekly email. So very important when you're asking for email these days, given how many emails people get, that you provide a compelling value prop for why they should get your email. You don't just want to say, hey, sign up for marketing emails, or hey, get my email newsletter. Everybody gets so many email newsletters. No one wants many more. But there's a small group of people who, they read a lot of my blog posts. They want to get maybe curated lists. If I'm publishing really frequently, they may want to get the best. And they may also want to see other interesting news or ideas or projects from me. I flatter myself that they do. So they'll have entered their email address here, submitted that, confirmed it with MailChimp. But now let's get over to the MailChimp dashboard, and we'll send to an audience we already have. So within MailChimp, we have, look at that, kind of a look at the subscribers over the past period. We have the tab for audience, which is where we're going to go first. Because what I've done is I've created a segment that I want to email. So let us go to our segments. We go to manage contacts, segments. And here segmentation is going to be useful if you want to email part of your audience for a specific purpose, maybe based on activity you have. So in this case, it's engagement with emails. And so I want to email the unengaged list because I haven't emailed this list in a good while. So the unengaged list is where I want to go to. And this basically means they've engaged only a little bit. So if I want to edit that segment, edit the segment, and add more segments like the date they were added. I can add their sign-up source, which I really only have one. I can even add language, but primarily it's going to be English in my case. So we'll save. 35. So it's right now it's using the logic of any. And so if I want to have both, make sure they're rarely engaged with email marketing and they speak English, that will narrow it down a little bit further. It's about 10 contacts, as you can see. So I'm going to go to campaigns now. This is where I'm going to start creating the campaign. One thing that's really useful about MailChimp is that you can duplicate campaigns that you've previously sent. So here I just replicated this email, original one, and created a copy here and filled in it with new content. So this is kind of the campaign settings view overview. I have my campaign title, which just helps me to organize internally what email campaign it is. And so just kind of clearly I plan on sending a lot of emails eventually, or at least I did at the time. And the audience is all subscribed contacts right now, but I want to edit that to say that I want to go to a certain segment. So I want to go to the unengaged segment that I built. So there are pre-built segments that MailChimp is providing here, but I want to go to the segments that I created, engage. If I have the first name of the subscriber, I can personalize it to field and say, hey, give it to the first name of the person. Say, hi, Amanda, here's your email update for the week. But I don't collect first name right now. That is one way you can do it. You just got to be very careful that people don't put in like weird first names, or they don't mistakenly fill in like their company name or something, because then you have an email that says, hi, hi Walmart. So don't do that. The from line's important. Who's it coming from? So presumably they know who I am because they've opted into my email list. I don't want this to come from someone they don't know. Subject line is going to be very important. It's going to be the first thing they see. Preview text as well. What's going to help them open it up. And so my hope here is that they'll identify with some of these terms, like Game of Thrones fans, the email processing people, especially those maybe clearing out their inboxes. This might appeal to them. And let's jump into the content. First, let's go ahead and edit the campaign link. What MailChimp will do is that it will create a web page, actually, from the email campaign when it's sent from MailChimp, which can be actually linked on things like social media or shared, which is pretty neat. So let's go ahead and change it. So the format I'm using is date and the title of the newsletter thing, Perpetual Apprentice Notes. So today is May 7th. So that's done. We're going to go ahead and edit the design now. So again, this is replicated from a previous template use. And just added in new content. So this is a very, very simple template, but I can add in things like text, image, social buttons. Maybe I want to add in some social buttons here at the bottom. Or better yet, maybe I want to have people share on social media. I can also embed video. Now, not all browsers will play video, but it's an option. And images. So I could have image cards for each of these items. So I could add in an image and just use this text in the caption and have an image dropped in there. So for instance, I could add in this picture of Jon Snow here and have this text. But for now, we're going to keep it pretty simple. One of the things I've done here is linking the headers and also having links within the text just for increasing click-through area. You know, we want people to click and go to the posts that they're going to read, and it just increases the chance that they'll click one or both of them. A couple things I want to fix here. So see the spacing. I'm going to jump in to the text editor and go into the HTML. So it just takes a little bit of HTML work and figure out why. Right now it's a bunch of break tags instead of paragraph tags, as you can see. So that's why. So fairly simple knowledge of HTML is helpful when working with MailChimp, because you're not always going to fit within the templates, especially if you're copying over text from other documents. That's a big mistake, big no-no, unless you're willing to do some editing after the fact. So see, it's a lot better spacing now. I'm going to remove this extra break tag. Yeah, much better. Much better. Maybe I'll bold my name here. Oh, look at that. Cool, and really my only call to action besides reading is just, hey, reach out and send comments so people can email me. This is going to be a mail to, or actually a link to my contact page, which sends my email address. So that's that. What I can do now is I can save as a template for one thing, which I don't really need to because I'm replicating it, but it's just useful little tip. I can go into a preview mode and see how it looks on mobile and on desktop. I can also see how the subject line and the preview text are going to look. Looks like I don't have that feature, however. And I can send a test email to myself, which is very important. So I'm going to do that. And that just gives me an opportunity to look at how it looks in the email client and in mobile. All right, when I'm ready to send, save and exit. I'm going to go to campaigns. And so now I'm in draft mode. When I'm ready to send, I'm going to go back to the kind of control panel. And I'm going to schedule. So I can send immediately, or I can schedule for a later time. Let's schedule for tomorrow. And let's schedule for the morning. One tip I've read recently is that A lot of people are checking their emails when they get out of bed. Maybe you do the same. I want to optimize for open rate and optimize for engagement, and so this is one way I'm going to do that. MailChimp offers some paid features here, which is kind of a new thing. Boom. That's scheduled. It's going to tell me what I'm going to do. So later on, I can go back into my reports and see how this performs. So this is how the first one performed. Let's just have a look. Very good open rate. Oh man, look at that. That's probably because this is my first email I sent out, and a very small list. So I can't claim a whole bunch of credit for that. But and it probably could have made a much better subject line. This is very long, but I will say kind of the interesting mix of topics may have helped with open rate engagement. So you can look at performance over time, what the top links clicked were, all of that good stuff. So that's all. That's kind of how you send an email with MailChimp.